All right, here we go. Game 2, Miami and Milwaukee, mostly Milwaukee. Jimmy Butler, 4 of 22 in Game 1. They nearly won. They got it to overtime. Giannis.
Yeah, that was a big possession. He got a basket, 2 offensive rebounds, and he knocked Trevor Reeves over the charge.
Yeah.
And didn't get the call. The hell of a possession. Then he stepped on his leg.
A lot of stuff happened there.
Yes.
That's like physical domination in every possible way you can.
Yes.
How do you not get called for a charge for that, by the way?
Something has to be a charge on that point. And, they did some weird random double teaming, Miami did, and they gave up a lot of threes, and this guy was ridiculous. Forbes was just on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bryn Forbes, who had the feeling. Pat Connaughton had the feeling. All of Milwaukee, Wisconsin had the feeling.
Yes, the whole entire Dairy State.
Forbes was 4 of 5 in the first quarter from three-point range. The Bucks knocked down 10 threes in the first quarter. Second quarter, it's Giannis. Alley-oop dunk from Chris Middleton. It's a 23-point lead. Zeke, you want to get in on this? More threes from Milwaukee.
Again, every time you see them shooting a three, the thing that jumps out to me is that they're wide open.
Yeah.
Very little resistance that Miami was given. And again, they shot 58 three-pointers tonight, and very rarely do you get that many shots off. 3-point shots off in the game.
That Middleton three was their 15th make of the first half. Then things got a little physical late.
You stepped on him early. He used them as a push-up board late.
Yeah.
That's happens.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Refs review it. Flagrant 1 for Ariza.
I thought Trevor actually tried helping him up on that one. Didn't throw him down the ground or anything. I'm not sure that's technical.
Well, it's an interesting question. And then we keep at this. Giannis fouled. Bobby Portis comes to his defense. Giannis gets up. And now we're playing soccer. Because we've already won the basketball game.
Yeah, we're going to win the soccer game next.
What else you want to try? What other games would you like to play tonight? We won the basketball game by 34. Ooh. Second most lopsided postseason loss in Miami history. Bucks set a franchise record in the playoffs with 22 made threes. 132 is the 6th most they've ever scored in a playoff game. Let's check out that shot chart presented by Mountain Dew from three-point range. 22 of 53 on the night, and that's when they cooled off late in the game.
Wow. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They're pouring them in like that.
That looks like a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Well,
that's a lot of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And a lot of those threes came off assists from Drew Holiday and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who combined for 21 on the night.
Yes, and they really had compacted the Miami Heat defense, just different ways. And you can see, we got a run out here. Look how many people end up on Drew Holiday. He actually has the whole team in the paint, and now it's just wide open. And like Isaiah said, there's just no pressure at all. Here's going to be a random double team that come down. And okay, now watch what happens. You get another cutter. Now Antetokounmpo cuts in. There's nobody left on the weak side. Look at how open that guy is to shoot that ball. So cutting against double teams is huge. And I'm not sure Miami they just really blew some assignments defensively. And again, you're going to get in here. 5 guys drawn into the paint. Guys be wide open.
Looked awfully easy tonight. Some strange decisions, as Kevin pointed out, Zeke, in terms of where they were collapsing and who they were doubling.
Yeah, and as Kevin said earlier, this is the first time we've really seen a Miami Heat in a very long time just, collapse like this defensively, where they lost all their defensive principles. I thought they lost their competitive spirit, and they just, it's like they just gave in and they caved in. You can get beat, but to lose your will to compete and to lose your will to execute your game plan and your scheme, that's what a team is really trying to knock out of you. And I thought Milwaukee did a good job in really knocking the Miami Heat out of their game plan, out of their schemes, and really making them lose their will to compete.
And Zeke, you've been there before too. When one guy just goes renegade and just double teams out of nowhere and just starts break, 3 other guys are like, whoa, we don't practice that. And they look like they did a lot of that. Like they just had renegade D going. Like, you just decide to make a play on defense. You can make plays on offense. Everybody can read on you. You just can't make plays on defense, like run off people and do that stuff. It just they look so undisciplined, and you never see a Spoelstra team look that undisciplined. But give the Bucks credit. They shot the ball well enough, had them running around, and it was just a spanking from the first quarter on.
Even in this season full of blowouts, it's been a weird season in a lot of ways. Yeah. You don't very often see one team fail to win any quarter, and that's what happened tonight in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they didn't look like they won any quarter. I don't think they had a chance to win any quarter. They got whooped. They got whooped for 4 of them.
They got close. They got close in the second and third, but not close enough.
Okay.
Let's hear from Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Bucks up 2-0.
Hey, Giannis, in Game 1, you were 10 of 27 for 26 points. Tonight, 23 field goal attempts for 31, a much more efficient night for you offensively.
I don't really think about that. After Game 1, I didn't even look at the stat sheet. At the end of the day, a win is a win. We were able to get Game 1. We came locked in for Game 2. We were able to get the Game 2. Stats is just stats. If it takes me 35 shots to win a game, I'm going to shoot 35 shots. But all I care about is winning a game. All I care about is putting myself in a position to win a game, putting my teammates in a position to win a game. And sometimes I'm going to miss 15 shots in a row. But my team wants me to be aggressive. I got to keep getting downhill, keep looking for my teammates. And, that's how we've been playing all year, and that's how we're going to keep playing.
Your team, the Milwaukee Bucks, a playoff high 22 made threes tonight. It had to feel good from 9 different players.
Feels good. It feels good when you knock down shots. When the game started, guys were feeling good. The fans were into it. We were seeing the ball go in. We were playing. We get stops. Everybody was feeling good. It was a great game. It was a great game. We got to stay locked in, go Game 3. Hopefully we can make shots there and try to get one out of them.
So you guys held serve. Now it shifts to South Beach in Miami. What's it going to take for you guys to go down there and go up 3-0?
We just got to do our job. We here back home, we did our job. We won 2 games. We got to go out there, try to steal one. Got to be physical, got to get stops. Obviously, it's going to be way harder, and we got to be prepared for that. As I said earlier in this postseason, don't get too high, don't get too low. We were able to get this one. Hopefully we can get one more. We got to stay locked in. We got to stay grounded and stay humble.
I'll let you go after this one, but something that you guys have done to start the series, you on Jimmy Butler, and you've done a great job of really kind of taking him out of the series. What have you seen? Has it been your length that's kind of disrupted him a little bit?
I'm just trying to do my job. I'm just try to go out there, try to compete as hard as I can, try to keep guys in front. Obviously, he's a great player. He's going to figure out a way to come at us, get to his spots. We just got to keep, try to stay in front of him, try to keep him in front, and just try to make it as hard as possible. But, Jimmy Butler is an all-star, done that, been there, done that before. So we know he's going to come in Game 3 even more locked in, even harder. So we got to be ready for that.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, says he's not concerned about stats. He's put up lots of stats over his career. He's got a couple of MVPs. He knows as well as we do that everyone's watching to see if he can help push his team deeper into the playoffs. Well, what have you gleaned so far from his approach to the first 2 games, Zeke?
The thing that I've noticed the most is that he's relying more on his teammates. He seems much more relaxed, confident coming into the playoffs. And he doesn't seem to be putting so much pressure on himself. We see him taking 3-point shots, not worrying about if he makes them or if he misses them. He just seems like he has a really good understanding of how to use his teammates and how to go about winning a playoff game and understanding the intensity you have to play with, but not getting too far ahead of himself. And I thought the last couple of years in the playoffs, he put so much pressure on himself that he was trying to do so much. I think right now he's really enjoying the moment, and he's got his team playing confident, and he's playing confident.
Assuming you agree with that assessment, and I think you can see some of that on the floor, how do you think that evolved over the course of the season that he arrived in this place?
Drew Holiday came there, and all of a sudden he got the ball and get 15 assists for you. Half the reason that he was so overstressed in the last couple of years, he had to do everything. He had to score. He had to initiate the offense. He was dribbling. I mean, he did so much stuff. Drew Holiday now is being able to find people. Antetokounmpo can get off of the ball completely and just cut and move around and let Holiday handle it. And, you know, Drew Holiday's got good vision. He knows how to play. He's just always has been just a rock-solid player. But you look at some of the assists that we had 15 of them tonight. I just think that takes so much pressure off of Antetokounmpo because when you've got to do everything, when you're thinking, hey, I got to go get a triple-double to win this game, I mean, you know, that's just a lot of pressure. And I just think handling the ball, taking it off him, helps him a lot. And like Z said, he's playing pretty fresh and free. You know, he's 11 for 16 if you take away, he's 1 for 7 from the three-point line. You look again, you take away some of his long jumpers, that guy's efficiency in the paint is ridiculous. He's so long, and he's just clever around there. I just think he's getting back to playing. And actually, it's probably better that the ball's not in his hands as much as it used to be, because he used to be able to take the Bucks out of the game just by double teaming him and doing some other stuff. But now they got another weapon in Holiday, so I think that really relaxes him a lot.
I mean, just to give you an example of his, you know, feeling free and being relaxed, Kevin. I mean, he's playing soccer during a basketball game.
Exactly.
During a playoff game. So that just shows you where his spirit is at right now.
Helps to be up 30.
That helps too.
That tends to relax people as well.
Mikhail would know about that.
Zeke, for you, Drew Holiday's presence really on both ends of the floor, he's such a good two-way player, has meant how much to Giannis and to the Bucks as a playoff team?
I think the most important thing that a guy like Holiday brings, not only his passing ability and his leadership, but more importantly is you got a lockdown defender.
Yep.
And I look at Holiday similar to what the Celtics had when they had Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson was a former MVP, Finals MVP in Seattle, won championship and can score. But his role for the Celtics was to always be the best defender and take the pressure off of, Larry, sometimes take the pressure off of some of the guards that he will be able to just guard and lock down. And Holiday brings that. But then when you need a DJ to make a big shot, just like when you need Holiday to make a big shot or a big stop, he's capable of doing that. And I thought the block that Holiday had the other game, I mean, that was textbook, defense, closeout, left-hand challenge in the game with.
And DJ, when we played, just moved the ball a lot. I mean, he just wasn't into looking at collecting numbers. He kind of got past everything. He was just moving the ball, making the next play, making the right play. You see Holiday doing that too. Just moving the ball, hitting the people, letting it flow. And when the ball's really popping and moving and you got shooters out there, you're going to get open shots. So I'm interested in seeing this Bucks team making a run to the playoffs and see just how much the Holiday effect has on the Bucks. It's been good so far.
What a luxury for the Bucks. Chris Middleton hit a game winner in overtime in Game 1. Tonight, only took 5 shots all night in a blowout win. Finished plus 28 as the Bucks win by 34. More post-game coverage here on Playoff Central Live next. The Bucks' big win with Chris Middleton, who scored 17 on just 5 shots.
Hey, Chris, I guess just to start, you've had 40-point quarters, 78-point halves, I guess, but to do it in a playoff series, Game 2, just what was working? What did it feel like? Obviously, you had more fans than you've had all season. That kind of vibe, I guess, in here that first half.
Man, when you started the gate, I can't really put words to it. I jumped on them quick, and didn't let go of it. Didn't settle, or we just kept pushing the pace. Kept trying to defend the way we were. Shots were falling. Brand was hot, extremely hot in that first half. But now I think overall, the mindset was just come out and defend and play as hard as we could, and then we rolled our energy through the crowd.
Well, speaking of energy, again, it's not new, but new for this year. And then, they maybe pushed some buttons with some fouls and things like that. How important was that, I guess, for you guys to also keep composure and keep emotions in check when maybe it could have gotten a little testy?
Exactly what you said, man. Just know we're playing basketball out there. I mean, guys may try to do some different things out there to try to slow us down and get us thinking about, certain things, but we're basketball players. We're just going to let that go, let the refs control the game the way they see it. We're just going to continue to play, not, get caught up in all those other different type of antics.
Dave? Obviously, your offensive execution would be better when you hit shots, but also it looked like there was a lot of, kind of emphasis on getting good shots and kind of getting into the offense and getting the spots that you wanted. Just what do you think of the way that you did that, the way that you executed and kind of were sharp from the very beginning?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it starts with myself, Drew, and Giannis. We had the ball in our hands the majority of the time. And I think the way, especially Drew came out and was pushing, just finding guys, being a force downhill. So with Giannis, those guys were finding guys early. And that's what, really got us, gave us the confidence, to shoot the open shot. We shot terrible last game. So we wanted to prove that we can knock down at least a couple more shots than we did last game, and they did.
What was kind of the message for you guys on the offensive glass? It feels like it's been a real emphasis in this series. And I think tonight at the half, you had rebounded 50% of your misses.
He's been on us all year about that. I mean, we definitely saw some clips where, we can take advantage of crashing the boards. I think Dante does a great job of flying in from all over the places. Bobby, Giannis, Drew, even Brooke. Myself is really not in there as much, but I could. But it's just a balance that we want to have with some guys attacking the glass and then also being ready to get back to handling their transition.
And then defensively, you kind of mentioned your intensity. I think Bryn hits a three to go up 29-10. You guys come out of the timeout, full court pressing, and Bryn gets a tip out of bounds. Just what does it mean to you that, hey, this dude that's having a huge quarter is also willing to give you that effort on defense?
And that's what it's all about. That's the only way we're going to win a series or win a game is playing defense. Miami, they're a great team, a great defensive team also. So, we have to be better on both sides of the ball.
Stevenson?
Chris, I know during the regular season you talk a lot about why it's so nice to not have to play like the entirety of the game and maybe get a couple minutes off towards the end. Why is that even nicer in the playoffs to have a couple minutes where you don't necessarily have to finish it out?
It's great. I mean, that means we're taking care of our business, doing what we're supposed to do, and then also giving, other guys a chance to get out there, get some type of playoff experience under their belt. But I think the most important thing is to get a win, whether they come easy or hard. It's going to be difficult in the playoffs. Not every game is going to be like this or the last game, but we just got to continue to, stick to our game plan, do what we do, and be ready for anything.
In the third quarter, there was a play where you and Giannis were in a pick and roll, and you were telling Giannis, roll, and I could see you, actually telling him. Just how do you feel like your communication has evolved throughout your years in the NBA?
Yeah, it's just, year-by-year process of, watching film, talking to my teammates, talking to coaches. They tell me, read the defense and just communicate with your teammates, what you see. My teammates have trust in me that, I'm telling them the right thing to try to get them the ball or, to try to take advantage of something. That's what it's all about from, me all the way down into the rosters. We all got to communicate out here to be on the same page to execute.
Steve McGargy?
I'm just wondering about the confidence level this team has in Bryn, his shooting ability, and how that's developed over the course of the season. Doesn't surprise you when he has a first quarter like what he had tonight?
It's not surprising at all. We know how well Bryn can shoot, especially playing against him the past couple of years. And we know what he brings to the table. He's not just a shooter. He's a guy that can put on the ground a couple of times to get to the bucket also. I mean, it's just he's going to be huge for us going down the stretch here in the playoffs, especially in this series.
All right, one more to Jack Maloney from CBS Sports.
Hey, Chris. Going off the shooting again, 10 of the threes in the first half came off of misses or stops from Miami. Was that something you guys were looking for to try to push and get easier looks when the defense wasn't set up?
Yeah, that's how many thing we want to do is push the ball, have a great pace with us, get downhill. Try to get to the rim first and then collapse the defense and find our open guys and just play basketball from there. It worked out early, which was great.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Series relocates to Miami next. Home court for Bam Adebayo and the Heat, but they find themselves down.
Does an NBA game sort of get settled early on? But what happened in this one that they not only got going like that, but you guys were never able to gain any traction?
It was just hitting a lot of shots. I mean, you got the crowd into it. You know, once you hit a couple and the crowd get to it, crowd gets into it, basketball looks like an ocean.
Coach said before he's going to try to get you and Jimmy sort of back into a rhythm. Is that something you think you guys need to do through sets, through approach, or anything? Or do you think it's more just basically you and Jimmy just having to do more?
No, I just think we just got to pick our spots. You know, just the ball not going in right now. You know, get in the gym. Just keep shooting those shots, get the reputation, and at that point you go out there and keep shooting the same shots.
And then last one for me, the rebounding deficit, 61-36. Was that an effort thing? Was that their size? Was that the way the ball was falling with the longer shots? Sort of what made it so dramatic like that tonight?
You know, they capitalized on, you know, we was turning our heads and not boxing out. And, you know, they was running in. They was crashing off 5 guys. So we just got to be mindful of that. They've done it the last 2 games. So it's been working for them, so I don't think they're going to change it. So we as a team got to adjust and adapt.
And then just one more. You got to play with Dwayne a little. We haven't seen a lot of that this season. What was it like playing with Dwayne, and was there a sort of chemistry there when it came to going with bigger lineups we don't generally see from the Heat? Thank you.
It was just good. That he switched it up. That's one thing about Spo. He in the playoffs he's willing to switch it up. So it was good minutes to be in there with Dwayne. You never know. You might see more of that.
Next we go to Barry Jackson.
Hi, Bam. Were you as aggressive offensively as you wanted to be tonight?
I feel like I started out the game pretty aggressive. You can always be more aggressive at the end of the day. You know, I started out the game aggressive, looking for shots, and just need to continue doing that, getting to the free throw line.
You're a guy who obviously takes so much pride in what you do. Is your emotion right now disappointment with how not just you and the team have played? Is it frustration? What emotions are you feeling right now?
It's a lot. I mean, we definitely didn't expect to be down 2-0 in the playoffs. So, you know, it's a lot of emotions going on, but at the end of the day, we all men, you know, and we can figure this out.
Do you have to give yourself a pep talk at all, or are you still feeling confident in yourself with all of the growth you've had this year and as well as you've played all year up to this playoff series?
Say it again?
Do you have to give yourself a pep talk at all to lift your spirits, or are you still of a good mindset where you're feeling confident after all the good things you've done this season?
I don't think we need to give ourselves a pep talk. Craziest things have happened in this league. So, like I said before, we're grown men. So, at the end of the day, we're down 2-0. We got to figure it out. It's not giving us a pep talk or anything else. We know what we got to do. We know the adjustments we got to make.
Thank you.
Next we go to Will Mansell.
Bam, kind of on what Barry was saying there, but from the mental side of things. Obviously, the physical side of things, you just got to make shots. It seems as easy as that. But from a mental side, is there a hurdle when you start to struggle and you're down 0-2 and all those things? Is there a part of that you have to kind of clear mentally to make sure you're ready for this game 3 and the challenge ahead?
I mean, we basically just get ready for game 3. It's not a mental thing because you never know. We can get in our arena and shoot the lights out. So we just got to be prepared.
All right, man, that's it. Thank you.
Black Lives Matter, people.
Back with more post-game coverage. Jimmy Butler and the Heat losing big tonight. They're down 0-2, headed back home to South Florida, where from Jimmy buckets. Just under 49% from the field, 6 assists to go with 6.5 boards. Pretty good stuff. He was excellent against Milwaukee as well. A lot of time left, plenty of time to turn things around, but not a great start for Jimmy so far.
Jimmy needs some coffee, Matt.
Yeah.
Well,
espresso.
He's got plenty of coffee, right? That's his thing.
Yeah, he needs that coffee back.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got to change blends.
Something.
I don't know.
More caffeine.
Different beans, more caffeine, maybe less caffeine. I don't know.
He needs some Colombian coffee
so far. Let's hear from Jimmy Buckets, who's knocked down just 8 shots in 32 attempts so far.
Hey, Jimmy. Obviously, they got off to a fast start, hit the 10 threes, and kind of set the tone. How would you kind of explain what happened in those first few minutes of the game?
Hell, they imposed their will, did what they do best, get out in transition. And they made a lot of shots, but we didn't make anything difficult on them, didn't take anything away. The game got out of hand pretty early.
And, been critical of this team at some points this year, and there's been a lot of highs and lows. What's your message to the team after a game like this, and kind of what do you hope to learn about this team in the next 8 hours or so?
That it's never that bad. We're not going to say that it's all good either, but we know what we have to do better. I think the bright spot is I don't think you could play any worse.
Thank you, Jim.
Next we'll go to Ira Winderman.
Jimmy Coach said he's got to do some things to help you and Bam get going a little bit more. Do you think that's the case, that it's something systematically that has to change, or do you think it's on you and Bam individually?
I think we know what we have to do. I think sometimes we get a little lost in getting everybody involved, and that's not a bad thing. I think that's what's made myself and him a really good player in this league, but I think at times you got to go, myself especially. We get it, we understand, man, but we rely a lot on our teammates to get them to rock as well. I don't think that we can get away from that, but maybe we just got to impose our will a little bit more, be a little bit more aggressive.
I know it's cliche, no rebounds, no rings, but when you see 61-36 and they have 21 offensive rebounds, how does that happen, and how do you prevent that from happening again?
I mean, they made majority of their shots, so therefore we couldn't get defensive rebounds. As far as the offensive rebounds go, when the ball is in the air, we talked about we're going to be the ones to get those, recover those. Same thing if the ball's on the floor. We did not do that. So it gave them extra possessions, extra cracks at it, and they capitalized.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Barry Jackson.
Obviously, the game, Jimmy, on Thursday will be determined by what happens between the lines. But do you think having a crowd by far the largest of the season can possibly help you guys on Thursday?
I don't think so. We love playing in front of our home crowd on our home floor, yeah, but we still got to go out there and play basketball the right way, compete, and do what we say we're going to do before the game, what we say we're going to do after the game. But, yeah, I guess it'll feel a little bit better, a little bit different at home. But we still got to go out there and handle business.
And is this Bucks team, in your mind, maybe much improved from the one that you all played last year? I know you don't like to look back to last year, but is this a clearly improved Milwaukee team in your eyes?
Both teams are a lot different. But, yeah, we don't get stuck on last year. We got to worry about the game that we got coming up and handle business that way. But with both teams being different, who knows? Anything can happen.
One last thing. What most didn't sit well with you tonight, as competitive as you are? Was it the rebounding? What most bothered you tonight?
The loss. I mean, everything that went into it, we did not win. We're down 0-2. But I'm excited because you really get the opportunity to find out what my teammates are made out of going into this next game. So we get an opportunity to play again and get it to 2-1.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Next we go to Will Mansell.
Hey, Jimmy, in a game like that, when it gets away so quickly, there was moments in the second half of clear frustration. How do you put that aside, the frustration and quite frankly, the embarrassment of losing a game like that for you guys with the pride you have, and be able to play your best game in Game 3?
I don't think nobody's embarrassed. I think that's just part of the game. They just whooped our tail. They did. But, you put this behind us. We got 2 days to get ready for this next one. I mean, I think you kind of got to just leave it at that. I don't think, frustration is going to change anything. I think you just got to compete a lot harder, do things the right way, But all in all, we realized we lost this game together. We went down. We are down 0-2, but we're down 0-2 together. And whenever we get home, we're going to be together whenever we play Game 3.
All right, that's it, Jimmy. Thank you.
Let's get to Drew Holiday. Oh, I like the grumpy. That's a nice.
Ooh, grumpy before. What?
I don't know what comes after
Stand
that,
up.
but
Let
that's
me
a
see.
good choice.
I want to see the rest of that.
I guess just for you, Chris kind of pointed to you as the guy that was executing, finding open shots, really kind of making it your priority to get everyone involved. Just kind of what were you seeing out there as a playmaker today?
Really just trying to attack the paint and dish out. We know they're a team that is a great defensive team, and they pack the paint when they play. And you know, last game we didn't make as many threes as we wanted to, but just trusting in ourselves and our teammates, being able to get into the paint and dish it out for three for some wide open looks.
Can you explain to me how much fun it is to hunt an open three for Bryn Forbes? It looked like in transition you were going to get it no matter what, and you were jacked about it.
I mean, look, I'm here to support, and if my man got the hot hand, I'm going to him, and he wasn't missing. So at that point, we running everything for him just to see what happens. And my man damn near had 20 in the first half. So.
For you, obviously, we always talk about defense, but you guys were pressing 94 feet for most of that first half. What do you think of your team's commitment to have that willingness to put that pressure on Miami and really make them feel you?
Yeah, you know, we feel like that's to our advantage. They're a team that executes pretty well, really well. So the less time that they have on the clock, you know, it's a little bit more difficult. And we understand that, so we just want to be able to pressure up and make it difficult on them.
Zora Stevenson.
What do you feel like you all must keep in mind as you head down to South Beach? Let me know if you can hear me. Did you hear me? Sorry.
I didn't exactly hear Did y'all hear it?
So basically the question is, what must you all keep in mind as you head down to South Beach?
Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. We got to go down there like it's us against the world. We know how it is when somebody goes back home and they're playing in front of their home crowd. But at that point, it's going to be us against the world. So we're going to have to wrap our arms around each other and be our own energy and be our own fans at that point.
Steve McGargy.
Just wondering, you had the big lead early on, and you never really let Miami get back into it at any point. How'd y'all kind of keep your focus and what was being said there after the first quarter, just in terms of making sure they didn't really?
I just think locking in. Every time out, you had Giannis saying, don't let the foot off the gas. You had Coach preaching it to us. So at that point, you know, we just felt like we had to lock in. And we know what type of team Miami is, where they play hard for 48 minutes. And at this point, we feel like we had the advantage and never wanted to give that up.
Thanks, Drew.
Easy night for Drew and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here's the